My SAE is diversified livestock production. For my SAE, I have 12 commercial cows, 2 replacement heifers, 28 commercial ewes, and 1 commercial ram. My SAE has changed by just adding more animals, and also my responsibilities have grown larger with more overall duties and jobs that I have to be able to do to keep the operation running smoothly. Well, my parents helped me learn as they've had sheep and cattle, and they've taught me things overall of what I need to do, what I should watch out for. And my overall projects have taught me that timekeeping and managing have been very important, with school becoming a big thing and getting more involved in high school. Time management and how I handle my operating systems is more important. For me, in competing in CDEs and through FFA, they've taught me many things, like in livestock evaluation and things that I look for and when I'm keeping replacements or buying new animals to put in with the herd or the flock. And I've been in an animal science class. I've been taught a lot of new things about certain diseases or things to watch out for in cattle and sheep.
Well, my SAE is beef production entrepreneurship, and I kind of started it when I was 10 years old with a loan from the FSA office. And FFA recorded activity started in 8th grade, where I have now a commercial and purebred shorthorn herd. I started with only about 4 head, and now I manage about 20. And what has really changed the most is my role in responsibilities for the herd. Kind of when I was younger, my dad helped out a lot, and now I'm becoming a little bit more independent in the stuff I do. So some of my duties and skills would require feeding every night, as well as banding, tagging, and administering injections subcutaneously or whatever they may need. So some challenges for managing 2 different herds is really the commercial herd is used as a profit side. So you kind of have to make sure that you're breeding those and doing everything cost efficient wise there. But then the shorthorn purebred side is all about, are they genetically correct? Are they structurally sound? So it's kind of difficult to make sure that the profit side is covering both sides at the same time. When I found out I was the North Central District Star Farmer, I was just really, really happy knowing that all of my records and the hard work I've put in has really paid off.
My SAE is a diversified livestock production, and I raise Angus and Angus Hereford cross cattle along with showing market lambs. I pay for most of my expenses through a work exchange working on my parents' farm. So when I started my SAE, it was strictly beef production. And 2 years ago, I bought my first lambs, and it was interesting because my parents do beef cattle and that's it. And so when I brought them home, my dad's like, that's your own problem, figure it out. I've got to learn a lot of new things about sheep and how to raise them and show them. And it's been a life-changing experience, and it's allowed me to kind of grow as a leader and an FFA member. My favorite part would probably be raising bucket calves. I've just always enjoyed them, and so like a couple years ago, I had 13 bucket calves, and so you have to get up really early in order to get them all fed before you have to be at school. So that's probably something that I really enjoy.
My SAE is in beef production entrepreneurship. It started with just 3 head of Black Angus cattle that we bought from the sale barn that were late calvers. It has now grown to me owning 28 head of cattle of Red and Black Angus and leasing 82 head of cattle of Black Angus cattle. I first started out with not knowing pretty much anything about the beef industry because my parents had really sold out of their cattle herd when I was about 5. So I pretty much started from scratch. I started by just learning the basic procedures of calving and taking care of animals. But then it kind of started growing to where we started using artificial insemination and picking our genetics and looking for the really good EPDs to better our herd. One of the biggest things I learned in my SAE this year was my business partnership with my actually past Catch a Calf sponsor. I went to the National Western Stock Show to catch a calf for an opportunity that I thought was the biggest dream I ever had, was to show at the National Western. And I got paired up with John Brown from Overland, Kansas. But it actually ended up turning into a business partnership. We started out by leasing 62 head of his cattle. which was just kind of a trial run, and he ended up trusting us so much and liking the way we worked his cattle that I'm looking forward to buying the rest of his herd someday.
My SAE began when I was 5 years old on our family farm. I currently have 11 limousine cows, 4 Simmental, and 4 commercial cows. I show across the nation from junior nationals to Heartland regionals or the state fair or county fair. I have been fortunate enough to place in the top 10 in showmanship 2 years in a row at junior nationals. Also, the bred known winners I have showed have came out of heifers we've raised, and that's one of my big accomplishments. And I've actually went to a conference at CABSU 2 summers ago where I learned to preg check in AI. I am not fully certified to AI other people's cattle, but I have been AIing and preg checking cattle at our farm. I offer to sell my animals that I'm not showing to local 4-H and FFA members because I think it's a way to promote my farm is letting other kids show. If they buy an animal from me, I help break that animal, clip the animal, teach them how to show if they don't know, and things like that.
My SAE is in diversified livestock production. I have 9 cow-calf pairs that I manage each year. In addition to that, I raise 2 to 4 sheep and pigs, and I also train multiple American quarter horses. A challenge I faced through my SAE was, first of all, when I was just starting and taking off on my own 2 feet, was making money. Having all those different areas, having feed costs, medical expenses, having to care for all that on my own was a real big struggle. But as I was able to manage what was most important, to prioritize and be able to make that successful so I could be able to make a profit in the end. My future career plans are to pursue a degree in ag communications. Throughout my SAE, I've been able to travel to different events and livestock shows, horse shows throughout the entire nation, and being able to see different graphics and edits throughout magazines or social media at those events has really sparked my interest where I would like to pursue this in the future.